Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Sports Entertainment Weekly. It is the wrap up of Premier League. We have four-time champions Manchester City and the serial bottlers Arsenal, and we have representation from both the clubs, along with the next door rivals Manchester United, and of course somebody who will never walk alone again, Charlie. Yeah, I think that face pretty much sums up the mood in the Mercy side. And Anirudh, it's also your debut today. Thank you
Yes.
for finally showing up. On top of it, he did not want to miss out on an opportunity to celebrate this with us. We really appreciate that gesture, and it was also really important for us to get you on because we have searched near and far. Legit couldn't find any other City fans. So despite your hectic schedule, we didn't have option. Like at the end of the world and all, there will only be hey, we know you hate each other. Can you just procreate for the sake of the
Got it.
population?
The other City
Got it.
fans are too young. Their parents did not allow them to stay up after 11 o'clock.
Past their bedtime.
No, okay, you are like even worse. Man City fans are still watching Cocomelon right now.
Yeah, one of that fan is my daughter only. Where I only.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, Jagan, சொல்லுங்க. Like, how do you
Yes.
feel about City's squad beat
See, in the season, if I had to summarize, I don't want to. I don't want to sound like that irritating 99 mark guy. But honestly, சொல்ல போனோம்னா compared to last season, in the season, the City was not performing up to the mark. I can say by the standards set by themselves. I'm not comparing with any other team. By the standards set by themselves, they were not up to the mark only. Because I don't know whether it is transition period or whether they are figuring out or something like that. Um, I still feel that they could do better. This is a completely off season for Haaland. Off season, நான் சொல்றது வந்து he was not at all in touch. Throughout the season, he was like very average, and for his average display, he won Golden Boot. அப்படின்னா you imagine the standards that City has set for themselves. So and also Kovacic, Nunes, and Doku, and who was all these new guys, Guardiola. So all these guys are coming in and then fitting into an existing system. Ida Tandi, Pep Guardiola is doing a later half of the season. Like he's trying to do an Arteta by playing Ederson and Ortega back to back. அது கேட்டா இன்ஜுரின்னு சொல்லுவான், but I don't think so. That is the reason. He's trying to create a competition for Ederson for some reason. அது வேற ஒன்று இருக்கு. So there are so many changes that were happening throughout the season. But still they managed to pull off at the last moment by coming and winning. Now it just shows how dominant they are. I think Pep Guardiola way he told in one interview, we feel like the 94, 95, 96 Chicago Bulls and the Mari team Mari. It's not an understatement, is what I will say. It really feels like that. It really feels like, hey, now Premier League la naanga ஜெயிக்கிறது வந்து it's just like a normal occurrence அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி he is trying to bring that kind of culture, which is so surprising to see. ஏன்னா இதுக்கு முன்னாடி such kind of dominance exhibited by PL teams was very, very less. The only comparison that you would say is whether you like it or not, you will say the Sir Alex led Manu. Yeah.
So I think that's a right segue to Class Meira.
So when we started the season, as soon as we started, we just knew that the season was just going to go downhill. So this season is just a write-off for United fans right now. Just want to get the FA Cup somehow.
Has been a write-off now. Since that,
No. See.
It's not the first time when he was 14. All the time you have been writing off.
You can say pointless, but in my opinion, all the seasons under Ole were like very much watchable. Okay, especially the COVID season and all was so much watchable with Bruno getting like insane numbers. And possibly even last season was good, in my opinion. This is one off season, I would say. In the last, let's say, 5 years or so, we have had two off seasons. One where Ole got sacked, and the other one is this season. So there's nothing with the injury crisis that we had and everything. This season was a write-off, but we still have something to play for at the end of the season. We still have FA Cup, which if we win, we can very well knock Chelsea out of their European place and get what we deserved, ideally speaking, all season, which we of course let off at the end. So probably FA Cup is the only thing that we have to play for. But yeah, as Jagan mentioned, this season City has not been so good, and it's actually the bottlers who have bottled it again. Like they got tries and everyone, but still they couldn't do the job at the end. Like they had a good evening at Emirates, which Emery did very well, and he got his revenge ultimately, I would say. But for a
I
United
love
fan,
this
this
story from Jagan. He turned off camera just to go and fetch a bottle. So when somebody brings a bottle, he can just show it later.
No, this is
No,
the stream.
Adela, that was not intentionally.
Okay.
It just
Bro,
happened.
Jagan, is this really stream awareness or something like that?
Adela, see,
Adala,
it's just happenstance. I don't know how
Okay.
that happened. Somehow a freaky
It's just
coincidence.
I think that's due for DK to chime in.
Uh,
The elephant managed to stay atop the branch for
yeah, I don't think it's
38
bottling.
games. I think that's
Arsenal won
good in itself.
16 games out of 18 in 2024. Man City won the same number. It's just that Man City haven't lost a game since December 7th, and even they lost to Villa. That was the game against Villa.
Yeah. Can I
So
also point out this is the first time in 5 seasons where Manchester City have not dropped any points in their last
yeah,
6.
so it's
Literally,
just
that's why I
how
feel
good Man
that's
City
what,
have been.
yeah, DK. That's why I
And
feel I
it's
differ
just
majorly from
Guardiola.
Jagan. That's
Yeah.
why I feel majorly disagree from Jagan because I feel this is the best City team in many ways I have seen. It's just that Arsenal have pushed City that much and they put pressure on City so much. If anyone who's bottled this season, it's not Arsenal, it's actually Liverpool. Because at a point they were 10 points in the lead of the title. They were in 10 points ahead, and it just went silent. No one wanted to mention because it was Klopp's, and they wanted to keep it respectful for Klopp and not mention Bottle because of his last season.
Who ruined the season? Ahmad Diallo's goal at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Liverpool were 5 points ahead of Arsenal when Arsenal played them and defeated them 3-1. So it came from 5 points ahead to finishing something like 8 points behind. So it's Liverpool gave up a lot of points in this 2024 season. And actually, Man City, I can't say anything because I feel that they have improved. Yes, they have. As compared to last season, they finished 89 points. I was checking. This season's Arsenal points tally is 89, and the goal difference is 62. Given the Arsenal's performance this season, Arsenal would have won the title last season with the same number of points and goal difference. That's so. Man City would have been worse than Arsenal this season. So they have actually improved on last season, and also uh, I don't know. Guardiola has in his career lost the title only 3 times, like only 3 times in his entire career, and
And
that
I'm
was
proud
like
to say that one of it came against with Conte in Chelsea.
Conte
After registered it once.
Chelsea in his first season at Man City. I think that was the only thing, and then Klopp in 2020. So apart from that, no one ever has beaten Guardiola to a Premier League or to like a league title. So it's just how good Guardiola is as a manager, how uh, how good Man City are. That is the bottom line, rather than anyone else taking away the credit from them. They've been just that good. Like can't you can't fault them. Like they like literally been flawless since December. So yeah, that's the standard now. And I want to say maybe controversial, but no one has done four because even Alex Ferguson's best teams, they could get to three at most. Um, all of Alex Ferguson's championships, like Premier League titles, they are nowhere close. He would not have. Ferguson would not have competed in Guardiola's era. He would not have won a single title.
Okay.
But I think you just need to hold on because if Guardiola is going to leave by the end of next season, he's going to do 5-peat.
The 2008 United side could have given Chelsea, City a run for their money. So
I don't think so. Not this City side.
They finished with 87 points. They wouldn't have given a run for their money.
no. See, you should not bring point tally as a condition because
They
it
would
just
not.
shows you how much there is a lack of competition in the league. Like
After
it's
83
completely
points,
absurd. Okay, it's completely absurd that you're bringing a centurion point or let's say 90 points as the barometer to say like this is how good the side is. The number of wins probably you can say, but ideally speaking, just comparing one era's point tally with another era's point tally is not correct because it just shows you how there is a lack of competition right now in the league. You know for a fact right now that if City go and play Luton, they're not going to lose the game. But that is how unpredictable the league was before. Like anyone can drop a point anywhere and still you could win the title, right? Right now, Arsenal just lost one game at Aston Villa, and we knew that the league ended right there because you knew that no other team was going to slip up. So that is how teams are competitive right now, and how vast the difference is between the teams that are relegated and the teams that are on the top. Any team after 15 and any team in the top three, we just see how vast the difference is right now.
But Nada, but why I'm saying even 2008 United cannot compete with the current City is because the playing style is completely different. You cannot even compare 2008 United or in general the majority of the PL teams during that era. If you can see, they don't play the kind of high intensity, high pressing, possession based football that City and whatever Guardiola started doing at that point of time with Barcelona at the time. They have not done that. So there is literally no comparison. The closest that comes to possession football, probably in the 2008 era, should be Arsenal. They were the only team that were trying to keep the ball like that and playing that, and of course they like bottling is
Yeah,
not new,
so we are
but that was an
comparing
amazing
styles
team.
of.
But the dominance is completely different. So
Yeah,
the
no, no.
United
What I'm
team
saying
of
is
that era,
styles of football are completely different. I completely agree. But I'm just saying, like how you had a Pep side in Barcelona which dominated the ball, very similar to that opposite, you had a Mourinho's team which dominated the game off the ball. So United in 2008 again, when they played Pep's team, they were magnificent off the ball. Their transitions, like it was the best team in transition. They needed three passes to go through the Arsenal side at Emirates when they were winning. Exactly three passes from an Arsenal corner, they could go and counter in that speed. So just because we have seen a shift in how football is played right now with how Pep plays or Arteta plays, we cannot say like that is the only way, because that is what I find very like an elitist behavior, which Rodri also said when Real Madrid beat them, right? Where they say like, yeah, they just came to win the game and they did not want to play football, which I don't agree. Like you can win football in any way. Ultimately, you score more goals and you win the game. That is it. How you win, of course, it matters for football purists, but it is again how you see the game, right? So
I'm
yeah,
completely on board with Casemiro on this because, like he said, even if you say that football purists prefer a possession-based football as the only pure football, that in itself is a very bad thought, because there are several schools of thought, and each school of thought can have its own purist. It's not far-fetched to say that Sean Dyche, for a large section of English, 45-year-old uncles who come with their bare chest with two beers in each hands and a cap over their head, Sean Dyche is a purist for them. As for others who are like ultimate pragmatists, and some people they even have that same tendency in life where everything is result oriented. As long as the results are being given, they do not mind finding that loophole in the rules, bending it without actually breaking it. For them, Mourinho is a purist, and like Casemiro
Yes,
said,
bro,
for
talking
people,
like a pure Jose fan. I agree.
there is so the purism in itself has not just to be restricted to the possession football. So for people who want that midfield game, for people who want that slow possession football is also kind of slow in a way that it takes time to find that gap wherein you can get that attack going, and the possession is articulated around finding that place to attack. So for somebody who believes in midfield control and who believes in moving the ball around more than the players, for them Pep Guardiola is a purist. But for somebody who ultimately just wants to hit hard, keep attacking, high energy, high octane football, for them Klopp is a purist. So here the question comes: what kind of purity are we talking about? So in that matter, I would say for Pep is probably the ideal dream for somebody whose concept of purism is possession football. But I am completely on board with Casemiro on this. The purity, but while slightly differing, that the purity in itself can exist in different forms. I mean, that's at least
so
how I see it.
clarifying one thing, I understand where this argument is going, and that's not what I said. The only comparison that I made was why the 2008 United team cannot compete with the current Man City team, because 2008 United team is an extremely strong team. I think they just lost Ronaldo. Yeah, on the time that was the
But they
time when
had
they
they
had
had
Ronaldo in
Ronaldo.
2008.
they had Ronaldo as well.
Yeah,
They
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 had
had
did, they
Ronaldo,
did.
Ronaldo won Ballon d'Or
Ronaldo
like
Tevez,
When
and
did he
like
Rooney.
go?
Ronaldo missed a
2007 he
penalty
go.
in the Champions League
Oh,
Yeah,
final.
2000.
2010,
Okay,
2010.
okay, 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 okay. They had Ronaldo. That was like peak Ronaldo just one season before
Yeah,
he went to Real Madrid.
he
Yeah,
left after 2009 final, which
Uh,
they
yeah,
lost to
yeah.
Barcelona.
2008, who was there?
So
Berbatov was there in
2008.
2008.
So I'll just tell you the team. 2008 we
Rooney
had
Yeah,
Edwin van
and
der Sar and
yeah.
Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo, Carrick, Scholes,
Scholes.
midfield, Giggs,
Scholes
midfield.
was Tevez.
Oh, Tevez also was there, la? Correct,
Yeah,
correct. Okay,
Tevez,
yeah,
Berbatov
I
was
think he
later.
was
Okay,
on
fine,
loan
got
or
it. Yeah,
something. Then he went to Man City. That was like
yeah,
a
yeah.
whole
Yeah. Tevez was there.
controversial transfer. I think
See, that's
Henrik
what I'm
Larsson
saying.
was there.
That is an
Was Larsson there for
extremely
that year or
strong
next year?
that is an extremely strong team. Okay, that is an extremely strong team. What I was trying to say was, I'm not talking about football purity or anything like that. Even because even I was a big fan of Jose Mourinho before Pep came to Man City. But I was never a big fan of Pep at all. I was a big fan of Jose Mourinho. In fact, I was a very very big fan of the Tony Pulis Stoke City. It was one of my favorite teams, second favorite team at that time. I used to watch because I support Man City from 2008. But still, I used to love watching Tony Pulis Stoke City because it was out and out proper English football, is what they would say. Man United played a championship version of the same counter-attacking, amazing football because they had good coordination. They know what exactly they're doing. They had a world-class midfielder in Scholes and everything. Their football was very, very simple. But if you see what Pep was implementing in Barcelona 2008 and how almost an entire generation after that, all the coaches, all the philosophies and everything that followed completely belonged to the I would not say tiki taka, but the heavy importance on possession based football and high intensity and high pressure. Now the entire system is changed, so the longevity is what you have to look at. That system works. Reason why I also talked about why City were not satisfactory but still they were able to win the series is because they need players to sit into the system. They don't need individual brilliance from players. They don't especially rely on individual brilliance of, say, somebody like Ronaldo in 2008 or Rooney in 2008 or be it Scholes in 2008. They don't rely on that. Uh, Back then, you relied on those teams. Even if you take the 2008 Stoke City, you rely on Rodri Delapstro. You rely on Jermaine Pennant. You rely on those guys
Charlie
to
Adam.
make that run, right? Charlie Adam, he was not there
He
in
was
Stoke City in
after.
2008. La. He was
He
in
was
Blackpool
later.
or something. Yeah. So, but you see Etherington and Jermaine Pennant, they'll make all those crazy runs for Stoke City back in that era, and that was proper football. But that could not sustain after a long time because you cannot sustain that kind of football with what Pep is trying to implement, which is simple. So they press high and they get the possession. Back then, Mourinho's tactics worked, and over time, you see parking the bus was not an effective tactic because even Mourinho himself kind of sort of admitted it, but that's not working out. And that is the only reason why I brought this argument itself. So the current Man City team, even if they look weak, even though the 2008 United team was so strong, they cannot compete because both have the championship winning mentality. But this kind of winning mentality, right? What Man City is doing, where they are not satisfied with just winning, they are satisfied with like how they are winning. It's like the Aussies in cricket, right? So that kind of mentality they have, and that's why even this
I
kind of performance looks substandard. So yeah, that's the reason why I just brought the comparison. But
I think it's
I
very
don't believe in
valid.
football purity and all. Ultimately, titles wins.
The
That's
results
what
that
matters.
matter. And this City team is it's in almost a lot of ways, it's a preclude to how sports will end up if AI took over, right? The City side is all about data and it's about uh, a team of individuals that's perfecting the process. You could replace any player on the pitch and from the bench and it won't make a difference. And I think you are severely overlooking the fact that City has the luxury to do that. Pep Guardiola can come in and implement this system because he has a 11 and he has a second 11. You could literally take any player, pluck him from the bench and put him in the main side, and credit to him for implementing his Pep Guardiola way. But this is where this whole argument of City flexing its financial muscles come from. And okay, so I'll end this with this, right? This is legit the first time I'm talking to an actual City fan. Don't you think that
Okay. அவ்வளவு shock வேண்டாம். Yes.
it's
Yeah.
really an unfair advantage over rest of the league? Like you have the likes of Liverpool who have a generational team, but they've only been able to come close, but not actually win it. And you have Arsenal who have come so close it so far. Um, do you think it's good for Premier League turning that into a farmers league?
No, அதுதான் சொல்றேன்ல. The entire Farmers League argument came because City is dominant. I will tell everybody says that it's because money they are placing players and everything. I'm not denying the fact that money plays an important role, but you just go to Liverpool, you just go to Arsenal, you just go to Chelsea. All of them spend money. All top clubs spend money. In fact, Liverpool broke the transfer record for the goalkeepers, transfer fee for goalkeeper. Liverpool broke the record for defender. Liverpool broke the transfer record for striker. They all got the team. இங்க என்ன matter now? What is the important thing that we need to focus on is how the players fit into the system. There is a curse. If you look why Cole Palmer left Man City, it's because of the exact same reason. Because Cole Palmer is a brilliant individual talent. Pep is trying to fit him into the system, which means you have to clip his wings. Cole Palmer was not ready for that. He's saying, I am better than this. I will showcase my brilliance wherever they want me. So he left to Chelsea, he's shining. Cole Palmer, when he was playing for City, everybody knew he's an amazing talent. In fact, if I have to be very open and honest, he was better than Foden. He is better than Foden, but he had to leave because inside the City he had to fit into a system, which means he might not have that freedom that he would probably get playing for Chelsea, wherein he can dictate the play his own way, his individual way. So this is the curse that comes into play. But the only negative aspect of this, the Farmers League aspect, is people might tend they might get bored watching City. I'm pretty sure it already happens in many of the
Jagan,
places.
I feel
won't forgive
the board argument. No, the board argument.
one.
No, from the board argument. United have done this. United have done this for a while. They've kept on winning the league. It was not both. Then Chelsea have also got this board slander where it's not about. We play football just to win games. We don't play football to get attractive. We've done that regularly and we broke the chain. So the board aspect, I don't take it as a huge prospect. And the point on which when the City is flexing their financial strength, I feel in the last five, I feel it's a fact. City are sixth in terms of net spend, not overall spend. Only spend in Pathina. Yes, I agree. City have spent more, but net spend in Pathina, City are sitting on sixth. You know who's sitting on second? Arsenal fans might not like this. Arsenal fans are sitting on second. Manchester United are sitting on third.
Yeah, but see, net spend is such a skewed metric. Okay, you have
How
clubs
is it skewed?
Chelsea and City. You sell your own players to your own clubs. Okay, like City.
How exactly my point. So our brilliance is our brilliance is not, and your incompetence does not make us the bad guys.
I have no faith, absolutely no faith in
See,
his accounting. Like zero.
I would like to weigh in on this. So again,
there is no way Haaland cost 50 million. Like,
unless
no way he cost that.
I definitely find that
everyone knows.
It does not matter what you believe or do not believe.
The world knows that Haaland is not 50 million. His entire package was 350 million. Like, not a single soul agrees to the fact that.
No way I'm going to buy that. And that's okay. Like, I'm okay with teams spending money.
If you're fine to skew your books and say that net spend is all good, 100% I agree. Okay, we are shit when it comes to spending, when it comes to recruiting. I 100% agree. United is shit. I'm surprised that we are third and not first in that net spend is first and foremost. So
Chelsea must be first.
yeah. So first and foremost, I'm surprised, but I just want to bring one point back. I sincerely hate Guardiola for making Grealish the player he is today, just because of that system. Before VS goes into his rant, Grealish was one of the best players I have ever seen, flamboyant players I have ever seen, and he cannot risk a single pass right now without worrying whether he will lose possession. So
see, Clasimiro, you already forecasted that I'm going to go into a rant, so I'll just cut short on the rant and I'll just make the points very brief. First of all, Jagan said about Guardiola having this tendency and an accusation that he tends to clip wings of players who would like to express their individuality more, and this is again not new because his own players in the past has accused him of doing several things. And let's think Ibrahimovic, let's think Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o said the only coach whom I will play on the left wing is for Mourinho, not for anybody else. But then again, I think it is again a very reductionist argument to say that Pep does that with every single player, because at some level you have to be flexible if you are to be a top manager. And there have been players, see, Messi is an obvious example. So Pep doesn't ask Messi to press because Messi is Messi. So let's not bring Messi into any.
Messi is an anomaly. Messi, let's keep Messi aside.
Exactly. Let's keep Messi aside. But apart of that, even in the current City squad, there are certain players who are exercising certain levels of liberty within the system that Pep has implemented. So Pep might not let them express themselves 100%, but at the end of the day, it is the players who take to the field, and they have to have that certain level of freedom to express their natural talent, and that has been happening. For example, you have to remember how Pep used Cancelo. I think Cancelo is a brilliant player in certain aspects, but overall a poor footballer because he's not complete. I would not have Cancelo as my fullback. No, I would play Reece James on one leg over Cancelo. But the way Pep used Cancelo was brilliant because he only focused on Cancelo's attacking ability, how he can get into the positions and play like a winger, which lets Pep's winger effectively become a midfielder so that the midfield dominance is maintained. So I think Pep does have that in him. He has both, but certainly some players like maybe a Cole Palmer, maybe an Ibrahimovic, maybe a Samuel Eto'o who believes in expressing themselves completely might not work under Pep, but somebody who's willing to, give and trade, it's a bargain. You gain something, you lose something, and somebody who's up for that bargain has been used very well by Pep. Even Haaland, because Haaland is not a typical Pep striker and he's been doing brilliantly. I wouldn't rate Pep.
Exactly the same reason why it's exactly the same reason why Man City do well in the transfer market. Also, every manager thinks that they can emulate the same characteristics that they've done in City, and they buy their player for that type of characteristic and get fooled. Simple.
Like Sterling used to be
champions.
At Liverpool.
Champions.
No. I just for Clasimiro, I just want to address one point. So he's talking about how Grealish was amazing, and how Grealish is not faring that well in in the City setup. But it's a trade-off that every player has to make. So the trade-off is: do I have to be brilliant in Aston Villa, or do I join Man City and win the quintuple? That's the trade-off. So that vein will always happen. So you're talking about how Grealish's wings are clipped. I will tell another example wherein a player was amazing in the City setup, but completely gone right now, which is Raheem Sterling. All the Chelsea fans can relate.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Raheem Sterling was so good for City because just like how we have said with respect to Cancelo, Guardiola used Sterling for what he was and what he has. He used all his positives and then he made Sterling look like a great
World
player
class footballer.
and then
I
sold it
mean,
to Chelsea and
yeah,
laughed. That's it.
I
That's
mean,
what happened.
I mean, with respect to Sterling, right? So, like, there were instances where you could literally confirm that Sterling would hit a hat trick against certain teams in certain seasons. That
Yeah.
Sterling Aguero Sane front three was a dynamic, explosive triumvirate of
I mean, I think
players.
there was also,
Crossing,
Charlie. I think
yeah,
there was a third season or the fourth season where he would play in City. He would have bagged around 60 goals, and
exactly,
Pep would go into Sterling said he can get 90 goals in a season if he played well in my system. And I
exactly.
was all like, hey,
But
என்னடா சொல்ற நீனு?
Another positive
And
of Pep, Charlie, in that respect, since you brought up the Sane, Aguero, Sterling front three, is
yeah,
that Pep has constantly throughout his career played inverted wingers. But
yes,
on that front three, he identified that Sterling and Sane, although they used to rotate occasionally,
Hmm.
primarily they were playing as conservative wingers. Sane on his left foot was running down the left wing, and Sterling on his right foot was running down the right side. And it had become a theme wherein every single time some ball or some inverted ball, some cross, some grounded cutback would come in from the left. That Sterling tap in at the far post in that 2016 to 2019 years,
19 period.
I got tired of seeing it. I got tired of seeing it because every time that ball came in, Sterling was at the far post to tap it in. I mean, we called a lot of players Gavin Merchant, but
KDB long
Sterling
cross and
was
Sterling tapping. Yeah,
incredibly long cross, Sane cut back, and it was all
Sane
at the end of
back,
the season.
yeah,
That again shows you that Guardiola has what it takes to be flexible if the players are willing to believe in
Listen,
him, trust his
yeah,
system, and go forward.
exactly,
and
exactly.
Sane does
sacrifice
everything,
certain aspect.
sacrifice certain aspects, certainly, because Sterling had that. Sterling could cut in. He can still cut in from the right and curl it into the far post. Pep never let him do that. I mean, occasionally,
Yeah,
once in a while,
and
he would
I'll
let him
also
back.
tell
That
you
did
one
not count
instance
out.
of where Henry says this. Henry is this guy who played in left wing, and in one of the games, Henry actually used to do exactly against what Pep said, and he scored a goal. Pep literally took him off, saying, "You, I don't care whether you score a goal, you play my system. Otherwise, you're
At
out of my
halftime,
system."
he took him
Yeah,
off at
exactly.
halftime as well.
Yeah.
but
And that's the
Anirudh,
manager Pep is.
like, okay, Anirudh
See,
and VS, I have a question for you. Okay,
Yeah.
like you guys throw a light and put a crime on Jagan, that is Man City fans and Man City, that Man City are exploiting talents in the name of bench, in the name of keeping their players on bench. Okay, we
Yeah.
have seen multiple instances in the past that and posts in social media where we have seen Man City are possessing a value of 375 million or 400 million worth of players on the bench on every match, like up to like 10 matches in a row. But Chelsea guys, aren't you doing the same these days right now?
I plead
Like
guilty.
Yeah.
Caicedo,
No, we've been
yeah.
doing that for 2 years now.
So what
Yeah.
I'm asking is,
Have you seen
why
the Chelsea
why
bench?
why are you throwing that shade of crime on Man City,
It's a
where
problem
you
because
guys
City is winning. Right now, we
I
are all
have
calling Chelsea because none of their investments have worked out. They have
Exactly, exactly.
make them
I'm not throwing the crime on City. I'm not saying that. I'm saying people
hospital.
go to City because they want to see their themselves win a treble or themselves win a trophy. At this point in time, that's the sacrifice they make. I don't care whether I play football or not, but I just want to win trophies at the moment. They're basically afraid that they don't want to be a hurricane.
Anirudh, but this isn't healthy for the Premier League and for the footballing world, bro. Seriously, but like I
But
just
that's
want
the
to
personal decision that they made. How can you go against it?
Fans care what is good
See,
for the
Charlie,
rest of
we just got
yeah,
Casemiro on, and you remember Casemiro
the
mentioned that point of when Anirudh mentioned the fact that the net spend is actually lower than the cumulative total spend. Casemiro said the books are being cooked and it's evident. I'm again, like, this is the second time I'm agreeing with a United fan, probably for the first time in my life. So when Casemiro said that it is a wrong practice, I completely agree, because recently, just yesterday, we were discussing that Chelsea are considering to balance their books by selling the training kit, not Cobham, but training ground to themselves. So Violi is going to set up a company, a shell company. He's going to buy the training ground from his own money using the shell company to boost the books. We have also been using Vitesse Arnhem as a farmland to cultivate
farmland,
young
talent.
talents. Yeah, and what we have done is we have used Vitesse to bypass UK work permit laws. We have used that to bypass the child abuse laws, and by child abuse I don't mean child abuse. I mean there is a certain constitution that restricts signing players from under 18 in UK. We used Vitesse as that. So this particular practice, Chelsea, I think, are the biggest exploiters of all these loopholes. Also the recent the contract spreading the value over 9-10 year
And
contracts.
the funny
Even
part
City,
about what
even
VS is
City
saying
now,
is none of it
even
is
City.
illegal. None
None
of
of
it
it
is
is
illegal.
illegal. But
Even
this
City
should-
does it with Girona right now.
Bro,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pep's brother owns Girona, but he has
Girona,
not spent a single
yeah.
penny on it
Yeah.
till date.
Yeah, and Girona has some key players that they have gotten from City. The fact that Girona ended up like third or fourth in La Liga this time is big time due to City. Their right back is a City player. Their winger was bought in by
Savio.
City scouting
And
system.
Savio has
Yeah.
now signed for City as well.
Signed
And
for
he's
City
like
as
one of the
well.
best figures in La
Okay.
Liga. I don't understand. Like,
Okay, guys, wait. Why are you guys teaming up like Leonardo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street, saying nothing is illegal? What the hell is problem here?
It is actually not illegal, buddy. So what do you want to tell? Basically, tell me. So see, the thing is, no, it's been there in the books for so long, and none of you guys wanted to take it because you thought it was shady, and we wanted to exploit it. And if we are extreme, see, the thing is, we did it, and if it is illegal, we'll get caught for it, and that's the risk we've taken.
Yeah.
And that's how we've studied the books. It's not again something. See, I can get it. I don't care.
see, that is why even though I'm a United fan right now, I had three difficult options, right? So ideally speaking, if not for the fans, I wanted Arsenal to win. Okay, like I don't want City to be winning the league for so many years and make it like a one-leg race across so many seasons right now. I want some competitiveness in the league, for which Arsenal did what they could do till the very end, of course. So like you need someone else who plays by the book, who's fair, ultimately speaking, who needs to win. That's why Leicester's league win was celebrated for so long and will be celebrated for years to come as well. Because
I agree
you don't
with
see something
everything
like that.
Casemiro said, except the part where he mentioned Arsenal should win. That's it. Let somebody else win fair and square, not Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, see, that is why as well I was rooting for Aston Villa, because he's the only Spaniard coach who doesn't go by Pep's book, in my opinion. He's a little different in how you have to play the game as well. He still plays with 4-4-2, which is so good to
Yeah,
watch.
I think the only difference between Arteta and Pep is the hairline at this point. You should check out.
Yeah, both of them. See, Pep starts playing with 4 centre backs. Arteta immediately copies the same, starts playing with 4 centre backs again in the back. And I don't know what Pep has a vendetta against fullbacks. He's going to replace the game in a way such that modern day fullbacks will be now extinct moving forward.
Yes.
Everyone will start playing with 4 centre backs moving forward at this rate. So I pity Gary Neville, like he was already trolled as a failed centre back. I think it is going to be true moving forward.
Cool. I think we are right on time. Lot of interesting.
Chris, just throwing in a small rumor here. Vincent Kompany is the front runner for the Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Vincent Kompany and I think one more manager. I think
Yes.
the Brentford manager. I forgot his name.
Yes. Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank is the leading contention for taking Bayern Munich up.
For Bayern Munich, approved by Fabrizio Romano.
Bayern Munich has literally been rejected by so many managers. I don't know what's wrong with
They're
Bayern.
making sure Harry Kane can never win a trophy.
Bayern Munich is me in college second year, basically.
No, Bayern Munich going for relegation coaches is something I didn't like imagine in my wildest dreams.
It's
No,
fine.
they're just making sure Harry Kane gets 50 goals but no trophies.
I think they're making sure the FCB clownery doesn't go away anytime soon. We are giving them a lot of stuff with our managerial hires. Thanks for that breaking news of an update, Charlie.
I just saw it like 3 minutes ago. Yeah.
This is probably the biggest crime
okay.
that Bayern Munich will be doing after what they did in the 1940s. Hiring
Good one. Yeah.
If moderators review this episode, please take a note that I did not laugh.
Yeah.
I did
Geopolitical
not laugh while
commentators.
saying it. Charlie was the one who laughed.
No, like I got the geopolitical thing right. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you
but-
so much.
but-
Yeah.
Barca coach is confirmed. Oh,
Nah.
Xavi
No.
staying.
Xavi is leaving.
That was
Both Xavi and Tuchel is leaving.
We are in our Schrodinger's era. None of us know, actually.
Wow. Imagine Pep coming back to Barca. Probably somewhere.
அதுதான் bro, imagine மட்டும் பண்ணிக்கோங்க, it won't happen. It should never happen. Please.
Jagan,
I think
the biggest conundrum
Barcelona
right now
will
is
go from 1 billion in debt to 2 billion in debt because they need to have money to sign players that Pep wants to see.
no Klasa. The biggest conundrum right now is whether you
And
guys
that's
will
all
sack
the
Ten
time
Hag or
that
not.
we have in today's stream. Thank you so much, everyone joining. I'm not going to sit and take all these spot shots at Barca.
Make sure you check eBay, man. Kriska, make sure you check eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Tomorrow you might find Kaminu there for sale.
Or possibly a new manager on sale there as well.
Okay, come on. The ball is starting in the 18th century.
Man, Kriska, you should even apply for the Barca coach job. There's a chance that your wage demands might be the only wage demands that Barca can meet.
Kriska, I think there's a Google form floating like that for the Indian cricket team head coach, right? And the very I think there's a Google form somewhere floating around for the Barca head coach. We should apply. Yeah.
You know why it's a Google form and not a type form? We couldn't afford the $15 fee type form ask.
Good one. Yeah.
On that note, thank you so much. We discussed City's title win, and we actually really dived deep and looked at the skeletons. I mean, not the physical skeletons. I mean, anatomically speaking, the way City played and whether it's all fair. And apparently, all is fair in sports and war. Thank you so much, and thank you all of you, and of course DK, who came really close, but who just couldn't cross the finish line in the stream, so he had to drop off.
Just like Arsenal. Just like Arsenal.
oh,
Arsenal fan.
Triska, you symbolically. Yeah. Symbolica பண்ணிருக்கேன்.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Bye guys.
Bye.